Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe Theodore and thank you so much for joining me today. The destiny of your rising sign, guys. This is a super important video, and this is also an introduction to a class that I just launched on my Patreon. You do not need to be a member now of Patreon in order to purchase content, which is awesome for teachers and astrologers, So along with this class, I have two other classes I just launched today. Today's the launch day. And one of these classes is the title of this video, The Destiny of Your Rising Sign. Now, the inspiration for this topic was honestly because I knew I had to start when I started teaching, when I said to myself, I want to teach as an astrologer as well. I knew that really honing in on the topics that are some of the biggest topics in astrology, the biggest significations, the biggest trigger points that we must understand in order to really have an awakening or a self-realization about our life, our situations, our past. What do we want to be doing with our life? That dealing with the rising sign was top of the list. One of my classes I just launched today is all about the moon. That's called Transforming Your Life with Your Moon Sign. And this is the destiny of your rising sign. And honestly, I haven't really seen many astrologers discuss the rising sign in the way that I did. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm saying that because the rising sign is just discussed in one dimension. And that is the way people perceive you and the way you sort of kind of come to the world. You're just your quickest frequency you emit to the public. And it's the part of you really can't control. The way you physically even look, your appearance to others is just an immediate boom in their face rising sign. And your moon you can't change. We can try to change our rising and our moon. We can try to dress differently, act differently. We could put on masks, as they say. And same with our moon. We can pretend we're not feeling stuff, or we can put ourselves in environments that are completely not healthy for what our moon is really asking for us in life. Or you can date someone that is completely not aligned with your emotional needs. And you could be conscious of this. And you can shove off your true nature. But this is why these two classes I released today, and I released 3. There's another one, which if you subscribe to my channel, if you're new, you can go look and see the other videos I posted today. Because today's the big launch day of these classes. But I haven't seen astrologers really dive deep into the rising sign. I mean, I'm sure like the Astrology Podcast, for example, that big channel on YouTube, I know that they've dove deep into this stuff, and I'm sure others really have, I'm sure. But the way I teach comes from a very traditional astrologer lens and an evolutionary astrologer lens. I blend both traditional and modern together, and I'm an intuitive, so I trust that there's extra information that I bring to my my words and my the way I engage with others, generally speaking, even during readings and counsel. So, and in this particular class, I really wanted to drive home how important the rising sign is to even fulfilling your destiny, period, full stop. Because a lot of astrologers don't talk about destiny in the specific way that I do in relation to your soul contract. Because to me, the astrology chart, the birth chart, the natal chart, is a soul contract for your entire life, for your behaviors, for why you go through stuff, for your purpose and what you're meant to be doing in this life, what you're going to be good at, what you're not going to be good at, where are the challenges. And your rising sign needs to be healthy, needs to be in tune, like an instrument. And your moon must also be in tune and aligned. For you even, ready for this? For you even to achieve any sort of authenticity in your sun sign. And that's something I really, really talk about in detail, is how your sun sign is not you. And as much as you want to pretend that your sun sign, if your rising and your moon are not in balance, understood by yourself, know thyself is some of the best words of wisdom that have ever been said. Know thyself, which means know who you are. Intuitively understand who you are. Work on your intuition. The more you read astrology, understand astrology, the more psychic and intuitive you become. Which is something else I'm also passionate about teaching. But self-awareness of your rising sign, self-awareness of how you are perceived in the world and how you come to the world. Your shadow is something else I talk about in detail in this class. And how important it is to understand the shadow. Because the shadow is where we have blind spots. And also where we consciously go unconscious. And sometimes we even know we're going unconscious, which kind of sounds counterintuitive. But we can stiff arm who we are. We can pretend we're other people and other things, or we want to follow the crowd. So your rising sign has a destiny to fulfill. And when you fulfill the truth and the authenticity of your rising sign, you can have a better chance of understanding your emotional state. You can put yourself in positions in this life that are more conducive for your mental health, your physical health, environments that are better for you versus other environments. I made a really clear distinction between, I believe, Libra risings and Scorpio risings in the class, and how a Scorpio rising should never want to be in a certain type of environment that a Libra rising would want to be in, from a rising sign perspective. Because a Scorpio rising is perceived in one particular way and actually wants to be perceived in one particular kind of way. And a Libra rising wants to be perceived in one particular way, and they kind of come off in one particular kind of way to others. So we must understand who we are. We must understand what zodiacal energies are affecting the biggest placements in our chart. And the biggest placements in our chart are sun, moon, rising, north node. Understanding all of those three alone can already guide you and give you a map of the energies you need to be embodying and the things you need in your life, the influences that you need in your life in order to thrive and to become balanced. But your sun sign is something that you are not innately. You don't come into this world as your sun sign. Your sun sign is slowly developed by fate and destiny. And more than half of us naturally do the right thing, and we get glimpses of our sun sign. We have inclinations. Like if you're a Leo sun, this is something I talked about in the class. If you're a Leo sun, you slowly throughout your life, know you want to be a leader. You want to shine, right? But you can have a moon or a rising sign that is extremely sensitive and soft and, doesn't really like attention. But part of your destiny is to have the courage to be a leader, right? So you can have those feelings throughout your life of your sun sign. And I can't wait to do a class on the sun signs, guys, by the way. But you are not innately in a full functioning way your sun, but you are immediately your rising. You can't change it. You really can't. Like, you can try and change it, but it would only last so far. Like, I'm kind of getting a vision of, people who like fake it till you make it. If you fake it too long, you're going to get fucking called out, and the truth will be revealed that you were faking it the whole time. Then your rising shine will show again, your true self, right? So if you know who you are and the things you can't change, like you can't change your moon sign either. And I did that. The other class I launched today is, it's called Transforming Your Life with Your Moon Sign. Being aware of what your moon needs and who you are, and not to be ashamed of who you are, and to do things in your life that are in alignment with your moon energy. That's how you're going to succeed. That is how the universe and God, or whatever you want to call the divine, and the synchronistic things that happen in your life that just come to you and inspire you, and then all of a sudden you're making that a part of your identity and your destiny. And if your moon sign is in alignment, synchronicity and revelations for your purpose come to you. And same goes for your rising sign, which needs to work together with your moon, in my opinion, in my intuitive understandings. Because if you are secure in your sense of self, your rising sign, if you already know how people perceive you, you can work with the shadow part of that, because we all have a shadow in the rising sign realm, and we all have to know when, we could be a little too much for people in the world. So we have to know our strengths and weaknesses of the rising sign. We have to know how that can fit in to the trajectory we want to move our life in, and how we can work with our appearance and the way we come to the world and the vibration we just naturally give off. How do we work with our moon sign together? And once you do that, you can see clearly how you can have the best potential to embody your sun. But working with the shadow is one of the big things I talked about in the class. Excuse me, because like the Leo sun example, with maybe you have a rising sign that makes you really shy. Once you understand and are self-aware of the shadow elements of your rising and moon, and shadow, I'm not saying in like negative or harsh or, anger, weird, even though some rising signs have anger problems, and you need to make sure that that's in a line. Like if you're an Aries rising, or even a Scorpio rising ruled by Mars traditionally, a sign of temper, there could be a temper in that particular, rising sign. So knowing that is maybe how you come off to the world, that's a good signification. Like, hey, okay, I know I have a temper. I know I have to work on that. Otherwise, my moon will be out of balance and people won't like me, and I'll be labeled this, that, and the other thing. And I'm not doing myself any favors. And yeah, maybe your sun sign, well, I don't know. You could still maybe become your sun, but it would be in a place where you will ultimately end up in unhappiness, unfulfillment. And we don't want that. We do not want shadow darkness in our placements, because we can still, in a way, embody the sun in our life as we move forward, but you're going to be doing it in a very, very flawed way, which will ruin most of your life around you. And then when you get to grow into your old age, you'll maybe regret not knowing astrology and not knowing, the importance of working with the shadow. So guys, I hope you consider purchasing the class. Links are down below. It's very affordable. I'll be probably uploading about 2 classes a month to my Patreon teaching portal. If you want to become a member, and subscribe and, over there too, I will be upping my game as far as exclusive content. And I really, once I get 50 patrons just for a monthly membership plan, then I'm going to host live Q&As. So that's something else I want to do. But until I get about 50 patrons, contributing monthly, then I'm not going to, I hate to say it this way, but I'm not going to waste my time just, spending a day and a couple of hours doing a live Q&A for, like 5 people, guys, So if we get 50 people, I think that would be an awesome party, for every month we get together and, just have a Q&A that could last maybe 2 hours or more. So, but yeah, guys, that being said, I do hope this video, even this little video, helps you in some way. I do hope you can consider buying this class and the other 2 classes if you would like to learn more. And yeah, guys, just thank you so much for supporting me, the channel. Please subscribe, like, and comment on this video because that would really help the YouTube channel continue growing. And I will see you all very soon.